Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tilting Ground Untitled Notre Dame USC Football Podcast. I'm, excited USC fan Michael Vito, and I'm here with Notre Dame expert Greg Famong. Greg, how you feeling after yesterday?
I have an announcement to make.
Ooh.
I've been tempering expectations, even following last week, because it was cool to win. It was cool to beat USC like that. And I was just saying, no matter what, it is, right? You're a big rival, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just saying, no matter what, that happened, and there's nothing that can take away from that. So I kind of wanted to enjoy it. But in the back of my mind, I was thinking, okay, this NC State game is coming up, and they've got a team similar to Georgia, without the explosive wide receivers. They had the good defensive line. They had another guy named Chubb who was really good.
It's kind of funny.
People were talking them up. I mean, it was all week. It was like NC State is good. NC State is good. NC State is good. And I was thinking, man, if Notre Dame gets past this week, I'm not going to be able to hold back on what I want to happen this year, or what I think can happen this year. And they put on another whooping. So I have now officially reached the point where my expectations are very high for this team, which probably means that my dreams will be crushed, as they have been the previous,
entire life.
26 years of my Notre Dame fandom. So I'm now vulnerable, and that's my announcement. I am now a vulnerable Notre Dame fan whose feelings are ready to be crushed one more time.
Perfect.
Yeah, so that's where we're at.
That'll be great for the podcast.
Yeah.
I actually have a small announcement as well.
Okay.
I want to make a public apology to Jerry Tillery, because I've been going kind of hard at him on Twitter for stomping on USC players.
You have.
And I thought about it. And you know what? He's just a dumb kid. He seems like an all right guy. It was like a one-time thing. He's not out there like Ndamukong Suh, cheap shotting people left and right. It seemed like a real one-off incident. So I want to make an apology to Jerry Tillery, and no more gifts of him stomping on USC players. He's just a kid. So if he was a pro, I would be all at it, just full force. You're an adult. You're an adult. You made your bed. You lie in it. But you know what? I'm gonna lay off the kid for the rest of the season, unless he does it again.
I'm happy to hear this. I intentionally, the last one, I let it go.
The last one was funny though.
You were being a little ridiculous. So I let it go. I didn't even want to get into a back and forth about it. Because look, he did a dumb thing twice. I mean, he did, but it's like he apologized for it. He got benched for it. He got sent to the locker room for it, and he made amends with the player. So it's I'm ready. Yeah. I was just like, look, I'm ready to move on from it. So you were being bitter, and that's fine.
I was.
Whatever. So
he's a person. He's a kid. So
yeah.
And a shout out to your friends, your Notre Dame friends, like Andrew from 1 Foot Down, for putting up with me. So they do a good job, and they're always nice to us. So shout out to those guys.
All right. Yeah, we're ready. We're all ready to move on.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna make fun of you about 49-14 though.
Oh yeah, no, put that on the. Yeah, it's fine. I got whole year of that.
That's not going away.
Everybody, knock yourself out.
Okay.
I mean, they earned that. The Trojans earned that.
They did.
All right, back to real football.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start with Notre Dame, since they're the good team. They're ranked 8th now in the coaches poll.
I don't want to talk about the coaches poll.
As of today, then on Tuesday, Halloween night, the College Football Playoff Committee puts out their rankings, and the rumor mill says Notre Dame will be 3rd.
At least in the top 4. Most people think 3rd, but at least in the top 4. It's a little weird. I'm going to be honest with you. It's a little weird. Last time Notre Dame was in this conversation, they opened at 4, I think it was. But everyone kind of knew. See, that year was different because they entered the top 4, and people knew like they don't really control their own destiny even then. Because, you know, they lost to Clemson, but they didn't have like these great wins. Like it was Temple, you know, it was like Temple on the road, and it was Navy. Like, you're just not going to get a ton of credit. And that was the thing, like that in 2015, it was like, who's your best win? You know? And
yeah, I can't think of who it was.
well, no, it was at the time, like, you know, it was Temple and Navy. So everyone was like, who have you beaten? Like the best thing that Notre Dame had done that year was lose close to Clemson. And even in that game, like they were down 15 in the fourth quarter. Whereas this year, not only do they have several impressive wins against A, good teams, and B, by big margins, but they also have undefeated Miami on the road, and then they have Stanford to end the year. So, like, they have opportunities
and they have a good loss. You forgot their good loss.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying as they go forward, like they have their good loss, and people forget, like Notre Dame led for most of that game against Georgia. They scored first, then Georgia answered, and then Notre Dame took the lead with a field goal. So they were winning for most of that time.
I thought Notre Dame was going to win. Honestly,
they should have won. I mean, the way the game went, they should have won, but they didn't, and that's fine. But it's like this year's different because they already have a good resume, and then they have an opportunity to build on that resume. And they're crushing teams. I mean, they're just like they've beaten the then number 11 USC and the then number 14 NC State by a combined score of what? Let's see, 49 plus 35 is 84.
80-something
84 to 28. 84 to 28. I mean, it's good. It's two top 15 teams you beat by. I mean, they're whooping on them 56. So, you know, it's incredible. Like this team is so good. and I was freaking out this week. Like when NC State blocked the punt, and I was just thinking, man. Like Notre Dame, like they came out kind of flat. They came out kind of just not sharp, you know, like jumping off sides and just kind of general sloppiness. But once Notre Dame got up 21-14.
The second they scored the touchdown to the tight end, 2 plays after getting the punt blocked, I felt it. I'm like, okay, these guys are back to normal. They're just going to grind on North Carolina State. Yeah, and they're going to win. Like it's just going to be the usual Saturday here.
Yeah, like there was. I think everyone was kind of nervous. Like on Twitter, when I can follow the game on Twitter, I do. And there's this guy who we follow each other, and his name is G.A. Moons on Twitter, and he said, he's like, the difference between this team and other teams, and this is when it was like tied or something, or Notre Dame was down 14-7. He said the difference is like this team can make adjustments and no other teams from the past couldn't. So things are fine. And I was like, okay, you know, we'll see. And that's exactly how it turned out. Like Notre Dame, they figured it out. They went up 21-14. And then it was just, I mean, NC State didn't score again.
Do you think it's making adjustments, or they just know the defense is so good that, you know, they know it's always going to be close. The offense knows that they just keep doing what they're doing. Josh Adams will break one. The Wimbush will get a long one. Maybe they complete a pass here for a touchdown. And you know the other team's not scoring, so it's just like you're just waiting to jump out ahead like that. And then the defense is so good, North Carolina State can't come back once you go up a couple touchdowns.
I think
it's just wild.
I think part of it is adjustments because they do adjust, right? But I think the other part of it is they don't, like you said, they don't let up. They just keep they keep grinding on you and they keep grinding on you and they keep grinding on you. And eventually you just break down. Like it's like, okay, they keep up their level of play, and then we falter a little bit, and then they're on us, and then that's it. And then it's over. Especially when Notre Dame can start leaning on the running game. And that was the thing at halftime when I was thinking, I was like, okay, Notre Dame's up 21-14. They did a stupid thing on special teams. They gave up a touchdown. And NC State had a guy on like third and whatever make a one-handed catch.
Right.
So, it's like that's gone away. So, like, you assume, the special teams thing is going to happen again. Like, you can't really count on that. Plus, I was like, Josh Adams hasn't broken a big run yet. Like, you could just sense, like, a turnover's coming. So that hasn't come yet. And, they both happened in the second half, and Notre Dame blew them out. So
something I was thinking about watching the game, how good is the Notre Dame defense? Like, I feel like it's, cliche to say they're greater than the sum of their parts. But if you look at a team like USC, they are definitely worse than the sum of their – like, they have all these good players, but the sum is not what you think it would be. Whereas Notre Dame, they have good players. I'm not trying to discount any of them. But I feel like as a unit, they're just lights out, man. And I don't know what they do. I feel like I can't think of like a signature thing they do. They're just good.
I think that the thing that people don't talk about as much is and why they could just continue to play well, like in the fourth quarter as well as like the first quarter, is that their rotation is so heavy. They have such a heavy rotation, especially up front. It's like we don't take into account how much fatigue plays into games and plays into like the way a team plays, because it's like you like they rotate guys all the time. Like they never have tired players on the field. And that makes such a big difference. Like even Niles Morgan comes out at times and they have Greer Martini and Tavon Coney in there. And they give Drew Tranquil time off for Asmar Bilal. And they rotate their corners and they rotate the safeties a little bit. Like they never have a tired team on the field. So it's like the offense, the offense doesn't change the offensive line or anything like that. So, they're playing all the plays while the defensive line, like they're just shuffling in and out. And then every guy that comes in, like there's no huge difference between like Khalid Kareem and Jay Hayes and Andrew Trumbetti and Dalen Hayes or, Jonathan Bonner and Kurt Heinisch or Tagovailoa Mosa. Like they're just bringing in people who are basically the same person. Like, and then Julian Okwara comes in, and then it's Julian Okwara and Dalen Hayes, and then it's Andrew Trumbetti and Jay Hayes. I mean, that's the thing. It's like they don't have like a single great player, but when you have like 9 good players that you can bring in all the time, then no one's tired, and they're all playing hard, and they all know they're going to play. That's the thing. Everyone knows that they're going to get in the game, and so everyone is engaged. Like everyone is engaged during the week of practice. Everyone is engaged going into the game because they all know like they have their role to play. I mean, that's such a big deal. Like the 2015 D-line, right? You had Isaac Rochelle, Sheldon Day, and Jerron Jones. Like all those guys by themselves might be better than any single person on this D-line, but they have to play every single snap. And they just get tired.
There's only so many plays you could make, be out there so long, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to get hurt,
and then you become a diminished player, and then you're not the player that you can be. Not only does that make a difference like in game, but it makes a difference in season too. So it's like the thing that I thought was going to happen when the season started was I think these guys are good enough in September and October, but then November comes and they're just going to break down. Well, they're not going to break down because they've played like 50% less snaps. Like it's sustainable.
So you can thank Mike Elko for that.
I can thank Mike Elko for that. Dude's a magician. So, I mean, it's exciting. It's a fun team.
And your guy Kevin Stepherson caught another touchdown.
He did. He's, I mean, that's another thing. Like he's probably their best receiver, and they sat him out for the first 6 weeks.
And now he's unstoppable. Well, stretch, but
I mean, well, no, he's not unstoppable. It's like he's their best receiver. I mean, there's no other way to look at it. Like they sat their best receiver for whatever reason for the first 4 games in totality, and they didn't really get him going until USC. So, I mean, you've got that. You've got the fact that Brandon Wimbush still can't hit a deep ball. Like if he could just hit half of them. I mean, Notre Dame's got guys running free.
At least they try, though. I mean, they keep you honest.
They're doing it. Yeah, no, they're doing it. And eventually he's going to hit these passes. And that, I just hope it comes in the games that they need.
Like Miami.
Like Stanford, So, I mean, we haven't even talked about the offensive line yet, and Josh Adams, who's.
Well, I mean, I think they're just rinse, wash, repeat every week.
Yeah.
It's just the same things. I don't understand how Josh Adams can, bust a 60+ yard run every week. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It's coming too. And the thing is he has that moment when he gets the ball and there's a split second when you can tell he sees it and he's gone. There's just that one split, and it happened against USC and it happened again this week where it's like he gets it through this hole and there's no one left.
I like that he runs so tall.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just it's so fun. It's so fun to watch. He's just, it's coming. And you're just waiting. Is this the run that's going to be the one for 80 yards?
You're like, no, that's just a 15-yarder.
Man. And everyone's coming around too. Everyone's coming around to the greatness that is Mike Tirico.
Well, he's just a quality broadcaster.
Yeah, we just finally have someone who other stations want to call their games. I mean, it can't be all good because they give him the wet blanket that is Doug Flutie, and that's
Yeah, Doug Flutie sucks.
Man.
Greg, we're echoing.
Are we?
Yeah.
Are you?
I am echoing. Yes, I hear myself.
Okay. How long has that been going on?
Only like a minute, maybe, if that.
Oh, okay.
So let's see. Or maybe I have to do it because you sent the invite.
I did send the invite.
All right. Let me see if I can figure this out. I'll be back. All
right.
Hola.
Hey.
Nope. It's
Didn't
worse.
work?
It's worse.
Oh my.
All right, hold on. Let me share something else. Oh. How about now? Nope.
It was always good for me.
No. No. All right, let's see. What should we do? What should we do here?
I can just resend.
Yeah, resend. Try that.
Will that work? I forget how we do it. Oh. Oh. Mike. Huh. Interesting.